Hello, my name is Called Beer and this is my short review of an adventure game, Beautiful Desolation. When I saw the trailer for the first time, I was immediately hooked. In our times, where original story is as scarce as non-alcoholic vodka, this fruit of someone's imagination got my attention immediately. Yesterday I was watching Baldur's Gate 3 gameplay presentation and, story-wise, it's all the same. Tentacles, dragons, vampires, wizards, halflings, really classic and cliché stuff that we probably do not need anymore. We have plenty of that in many games. Why create more of the same? I think that exactly these thoughts were crawling in mind of developers of Beautiful Desolation. They wanted to create something original, something different and never seen before, and I can clearly say they succeeded. The story starts in 1976 in Cape Town, South Africa, where suddenly huge mysterious alien artifact ship appears in the sky. Alternative history is really amazing setting, just remember Fallout games. Good start, huh? I don't wanna spoil the story, so I'll just mention that you'll have to get on the mothership named Penrose for some reason, and after you get here, something happens and you're blown away to the alternative future from the alternative past. You can clearly say that this is fucked up setting and it's very hard to understand what is happening. But despite that, story and exploration is very interesting because it exploits the main principle of fiction literature. You see, I'm a writer in real life. I write stories, scenarios for TV, for movies, short sci-fi stories and so on. And I like fantasy and science fiction because anything can happen. In realistic stories, anything almost never happens. You can pretty much guess several outcomes of one scene or another. But an example in sci-fi story, you can't do that because a writer can be a little bit crazy and put that craziness into the paper. That being said, let me show you the cutscene where something like that happens in Beautiful Desolation. What was that creature machine that shot my ship? What the hell was it? And the game doesn't bother to explain. This thing just exists and that's it. You can encounter it later and have very fulfilling conversation with him.
What on earth?
You survived and unscathed. You are still strong, my child, still strong.
And talking about conversations, voice acting is really good. I'm not saying that it's like 11 out of 10, but you can really feel that they did the casting part for it, and the price of the actor's services wasn't the main factor. I really enjoy conversations here with all different weird and bizarre creatures. Also, while speaking about voice acting, I must also mention the music. It is definitely one of the greatest soundtracks I ever heard in game, and when I checked who made it, I discovered that it was a composer named Mick Gordon. Maybe some of you already know him from such games as Wolfenstein, Need for Speed, Prey, Killer Instinct, and my favorite newest Doom and Doom Eternal soundtracks. The composer itself, despite being a star in a gaming world, is a man down to earth. And I know that because maybe a year ago my girlfriend was creating a video for her Instagram and she wanted to use Doom music for it. But it's copyrighted and you can get in trouble by doing that without permission, so she just wrote an email to Mick Gordon and asked if she can use his music for free. We had no hopes that the man of his caliber would write back, but he wrote and he said,
"Okay, you have my permission, do it!"
We were gobsmacked, actually. So, Mick Gordon, one of the great and I should say young composers, is making this game atmospherically amazing. And while you listen to this music, you can admire the artwork. This is some next level shit, man. Those backgrounds are so detailed and also sometimes sometimes weird and bizarre. Look at this giant dead worm just hanging around this village. Scenes like that make this game really unique. So while you wander around, you have to solve puzzles. They are not very hard, but sometimes it's not clear what you have to do. Basically, at first you're a bit confused if something doesn't go as planned, but later you will realize that if something is wrong, it just means that you missed something and you'll have to go back and check every nook and cranny once again. In example, I had to take data core from fallen space station, but when I flew to the location, I couldn't access the terminal. I had no idea why and what should I do. So I went back, searched for clues and found something. Next time I went back, I could access the terminal. That was because the terminal is a puzzle, very difficult one, where you can't just guess the right answer, not like in Skyrim where you accidentally roll eagle, eagle, whale and doors open. It seems that previously I hadn't found a clue how to solve it, so it didn't even let me try. That is, I guess, a good thing, because I would waste a lot of time in there without any actual result, but the lack of information of what to do next was really disturbing. I almost quit the game. So what is my verdict? I would say 8 vodkas out of 10. This is one of the best adventure games I've played, but it lacks clarity, as I mentioned, with puzzles and actual freedom of choice. An example, once I've been asked this question.
Ah, a fresh face with virgin eyes falls upon me. You have strong arms, a strong back, and all your teeth. Yes, you will make a fine addition. Have you come to join in my family? To be a concubine to the mistress of Witherberg?
And I would say yes, definitely yes. I want to be a concubine. I have my teeth, my skin is still in place, but the game fails to provide me with that option. I was very disappointed. Anyway, a great game, I'm recommending it. And now it's the time for you to subscribe to my channel and also check my Facebook page, where I often share links to free games from Steam, Epic, Origin, GOG, and so on. Have a nice day, and I'll see you next time.